What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fallout 4 on BlackTideTV. It's been quite some time from my last Fallout 4 upload. I used to stream on YouTube, however, with the recent announcement of Fallout 76, I've gone ahead and rebooted the entire campaign on my Twitch channel. So you can check out my Twitch channel in the description down below. BlackTideTV, same credentials as on YouTube. Follow over there, and I've been streaming regularly the last couple days, and I plan to continue to do so with this hype for Fallout 76 that's happening in the community right now. But in today's video, I wanted to give you guys my thoughts and more or less a trailer breakdown of Fallout 76. There have been a ton of rumors going around about this, and I'd like to address those, give you guys what I'm thinking about those rumors, and that we really can't get too caught up in the rumor mill right away. E3 is just around the corner. It's this weekend, and I plan to cover every single conference. Microsoft, Sony, Bethesda, Ubisoft, EA. There's a ton of different conferences, and I plan to cover each and every one right here on the channel. And we're going to hear more about Fallout 76 at E3. That is where we'll have the official reveal. All we've had so far is a teaser trailer after a very long, very trolly live stream. Bethesda live stream for a few hours, and they had a ton of viewers just waiting to see what was going to happen, and they didn't necessarily do anything in that live stream. And then they dropped this teaser trailer for Fallout 76, which right away is a red flag for me because it's not been too long from the last Fallout game, and usually these games take years and years and years to develop. We've been waiting for the next Elder Scrolls 6, the sequel to Skyrim, to come out for like, what, 6 years now? Like, Skyrim has been out for a very long time. And generally, with Bethesda Softworks releases, they go mishmash, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Elder Scrolls. So I was definitely expecting to hear something of an Elder Scrolls 6 around this time. Maybe for E3 they were going to drop a teaser for that and then not release it for another couple years yet. But we got this Fallout 76 reveal, which is very, very strange, because even if it was a lower tier Fallout game like a Fallout New Vegas developed by a third-party studio underneath the Bethesda umbrella, it still seems strange that we're getting it so close to when Fallout 4 released, which really wasn't too long ago. My apologies for the gameplay. Bethesda's games, especially Fallout, it's not a very cinematic game. It's a fantastic game, but not very cinematic. And so I've had to cut up a little bit of my exploration through the Corvega assembly plant earlier this morning. Just wanted to give you guys some action-packed gameplay and not bore you to death with my looking through every nook and cranny. So there will be a couple fades here. It's not generally the type of gameplay that I like to put on my channel. I like to have everything in one cut, one long clip of gameplay, but unfortunately that's just the nature of Fallout, and really Fallout is a better game for streaming, so make sure you check out my Twitch channel once again. But let's jump into this Fallout 76 stuff. There has been a ton of rumors, right? Right away, you get that John Denver classic, Country Roads Take Me Home. Unfortunately, it's not the John Denver classic in this trailer. It's actually a cover. So that's like, why are we not getting the classic John Denver? I am liking that it's bringing some attention to that classic country tune. I'm not a country music lover by any means, but that is a classic country song that everyone should have in their repertoire. And I like that it's getting a lot of meme attention on the internet. But right away, that song is all about West Virginia, so most people are assuming that that means this game is confirmed to be in West Virginia. That is not the case whatsoever. Bethesda could definitely be pulling the wool over our eyes, though the West Virginia setting does make a lot of sense. It's pretty close to the Capital Wasteland. I think it's just to the east of where the Capital Wasteland was in Fallout 3, but it is a really cool idea for a setting. It's somewhere that we haven't been yet. I think a lot of the community was looking forward to a Fallout New Orleans or something similar to that. That was the rumor mill for the last few years, as the New Vegas was going to be Fallout New Orleans on the Fallout 4 engine. But a West Virginia setting could be very neat as well. Vault 76 is the main star of this trailer and will be the main star of the game. So what do we know about Vault 76? From the lore, Vault 76 actually opens much earlier than almost any other vault. It opens only 25 years, at least according to the date in this trailer, only 25 years after the bombs drop after the Great War. So that is really, really, really close to when those bombs dropped, and in the real world, you wouldn't be going outside of your fallout shelter 25 years after a nuclear devastation, or you would be fried to a crisp. Like, you wouldn't be able to survive out there. The fallout does not dissipate that quickly. But in this world, I guess anything is possible. I am looking at this as it's only been 25 years, so there won't be as much civilization, like no large-scale civilization. We're not seeing as many vault dwellers coming out and repopulating the world. We're seeing mostly raider encampments is what I'm guessing. Super mutants, the Brotherhood of Steel, may not even play a role in this game because it took them quite some time to form together and then come over from the West Coast. Like, they all were over there for the majority of the beginning of the Great War, and then they started coming over many years into the future, like Fallout 3 era, like 100 years after the bombs dropped. That's when we start to see the Brotherhood of Steel move to the East Coast, where this game might be set. So the timeline is just being a little messed up, unless they're going to play with the lore, which is definitely something that I could see Bethesda doing once again. But Vault 76 is a control vault. So if you didn't know, Vault Tech, the people that designed the vaults in the Bethesda world, in the Fallout world, they basically designed their vaults to be human experiments, and they would have 6 social ideas put into each of these vaults. Like, some vaults would only allow women in, some vaults there would only be one guy and they'd clone him over and over again, like in Fallout 4 where cryosleep, we're put into a cryosleep in the vault until we wake up 200 years later. Now, Vault 76, on the other hand, is a control vault. So when you do an experiment, a scientific experiment, you have to have a control, which is basically your normalized situation. So Vault 76 is just 500 people in a vault. Now, the idea of this game, in my opinion, what I'm getting from this Reclamation Day propaganda in the trailer, is that this vault is opening 25 years after the Great War and the bombs fell. And we're letting these 500 people, instead of just a lone survivor or a lone wanderer or a sole survivor, we're seeing a whole host of people from this vault coming out and reclaiming the world. So what that is telling a lot of people is that this game is going to be very much emphasized on restructuring the wasteland via settlements, the settlement building from Fallout 4, which I'm not a fan of. I actually made a few articles on GameSkinny when I was writing over there about how bad the settlement building is and how much of a waste of time it was. I was not a fan of settlement building, but it might be the case that this is going to be a huge settlement building game. We've seen them dip their toes into that with the Fallout Shelter mobile game. They really want to get into that kind of build your own world vibe, and especially if there's no other civilizations already pre-existing, because there aren't as many people out there, there aren't as many survivors, we haven't repopulated the world. It makes sense that we're going to be building more settlements and repopulating the wasteland. Reclamation Day, reclaiming the wasteland. So these 500 vault dwellers are going out and they're going to try and colonize this new savage world. So that could be part of the gameplay elements. That's kind of what I'm getting from this Reclamation Day, the Vault 76, like 500 people. This is the first time that we've seen this grand of a scale of vault dwellers coming out of a single vault. And that could really do wonders for the story. It could really make the game very RPG and very cool for role-playing, in like specifically. In Fallout 4, you're more or less shackled to the idea that you need to save your son. In Fallout 3, I think you're going to find your dad. It's been a while since I've played that game. But all of these other Fallout games, you are shackled to some type of storyline, whereas if you're just 1 in 500 coming out of this vault, then you have free reign to do whatever you want. You can be whatever character you want. You might become a raider and start taking over other people's encampments. You might be the savant or the really good kind of person that's going to build up the wasteland and include everyone. You can really get into those role-playing elements in a world where you're 1 of 500 and you can be as whoever you want to be. Now, another thing that's come up with this 1 in 500 situation is there are some seriously heavy rumors that this game is going to be multiplayer or online oriented, in that it's going to be a fully multiplayer experience. How we're going to go about this, I'm not entirely sure, and of course it's all rumors at this point, so we have to take everything with a grain of salt. It could be in the vein of Elder Scrolls Online. We know Bethesda already has their feet wet in that area with, well, Elder Scrolls Online. So they could have a Fallout Online and MMORPG, though that would be very tough with the Fallout style, with VATS and with the way that the game works. There's so much pausing and just like intermediate things that are happening in the game. All of your skills and perks all have to work in a single player environment. The things that go into a Fallout game aren't exactly the same as the things that go into an Elder Scrolls game. And with Elder Scrolls Online, they got away with it. They did it quite well, in my opinion. But a Fallout Online game, it's not like you're going to pause the game for everyone every time someone wants to use VATS. And I don't think they would make a Fallout game without VATS. It just does not make sense to me. So an MMORPG might be what they're going for, but I'm not putting too much stock into that idea. Could be a battle royale mode because everyone's doing battle royale now, but I am definitely thinking it's an online survival RPG. Bethesda is trying to get on the train of what everyone else is doing, and a couple of years ago when this game would have started into development, the online survival RPG was the big thing. Nowadays, it's the Battle Royale, so I'm glad they didn't wait a couple years before beginning to make this game, because a Fallout Battle Royale would be strange, to say the least. I don't know if that would be a good or a bad thing, but maybe if this is an entirely online game, we can see that further down the road with future updates. But the best bet, I think, in terms of multiplayer and online capabilities for this game is a co-op campaign experience. Co-op campaign would work very well, even with your special traits, your perks, your VATS. Co-op, you could get away with pausing or slowing down the game for VATS for other people that are in your party. You could be like, okay, I'm using VATS. Maybe everyone slows down and uses VATS at once. You work with it. You work with other people as a team to do it. The co-op campaign would work really well because you would just have other vault dwellers that will be helping you along. I can't see this being a huge open world RPG though, because of the small amount of time that this game has been in the works. From Fallout 4 to Fallout 76, definitely looks like this game is on the Fallout 4 engine, so they didn't start this game before Fallout 4, they've been working on it since. So it's just seems very strange how they're going about this game. I'm definitely interested in hearing more about it, how they're going to do this multiplayer, if there is multiplayer at all. It could be the New Vegas, like I've mentioned earlier, but a lot of people seem to be thinking it's an online or multiplayer experience, and if they do that, they're going to have to take it very, very easily. I'm not sure how they'll be able to implement that multiplayer, but it should be really, really interesting. So we'll talk a little bit more about this after E3, after the official announcement. Hopefully they say something about Elder Scrolls during this E3 as well. I know there's a new update for Elder Scrolls Online coming out, which I don't really play Elder Scrolls Online anymore. I'm not a huge fan of the online elements of that game, and once again, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, they're really at their core single player experiences, and the multiplayer seems tacked on. So Elder Scrolls Online is a very different game from Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. And Fallout 76, if this is an online game, it's going to be very interesting to see how it compares to Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and some of these more core single-player experiences, but I'm definitely interested. I'm a huge Fallout fan, I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan, Bethesda fan. Bethesda E3 is going to be fantastic this year, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. Let me know your thoughts of Fallout 76 in the comment section down below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next video.